Welcome to Synchronicity. It's been a month, stuff, Mercury retrograde, things happening, going on. I'm back. We will have a guest episode and a solo cast. Also this month, we'll probably get 3 or 4 podcasts done. I just wanted to let you know. Today, we have a special treat. So if you've been jonesing for more stuff related to Synchronicity, we do weekly live streams over on the Patreon. And today I want to give you a preview of the latest one so you can get a sense of kind of what we're doing there. It's pretty similar to the podcast. There's just music and stuff, and I smoke weed, and it's fun. So that's also available if you catch them live at twitch.tv/sync, SYNC pod. You can catch those, but the patrons in there have fun. Reminder, you also get access to the Discord server, CryptoSync. You pay, you can leave. You don't have to stay. So that's what this episode is. We cover a lot of shit. It's good. That's all I can say. I'm sharing this one because I like it a lot. Also, one other point of business. Starting this Monday, May 15th, I'm going to resume the quick hitter Instagram tarot readings. So those are like 15, sometimes 20 minutes for not a lot of money, 15, 20 bucks, something like that. So if you're on Instagram and you want to check those out and you catch it live, the details will be posted there. And we'll try to do those every Monday, trying to get some type of schedule going. Imagine that. Okay, that's it. Without further ado, here is the latest Patreon live stream / this week's episode. All right, bye-bye.
Bless this house. Bless my pillow. Bless your home. South of the out.
All right, we're here. I'm going to grab some water. Right, should we start the video? I think we should. Oh man, guys. Can you see me? Hello. I'm gonna smoke some weed. How's everyone doing? We had a doozy tonight, guys. I've been out of commission. I was on vacation. It was my oldest son's birthday, then my wife's birthday, then a fair for the school, then the birthday party for my oldest son. It's Mother's Day. It's been a clusterfuck. I call it the gauntlet. Every year it's going to be like this. But look, we have the cards. Not too shabby, right? We finally got it going. Moonstone. I don't know what. Is this the... I don't know what that is. Lapis lazuli. So we're going to cover Oh, congrats for your birthdays. Happy birthday. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Some not really crypto related, but I don't know if you guys have been going through this cycle of kind of utter despair and then laughing at the ridiculousness of just how crazy everything is recently. It's like we're really winding up for some crazy shit. I mean, we're in the crazy shit. It's pure chaos. But it's been to another level. It's such a frenetic, manic energy that, yeah, it can be personal, but it is a collective thing we're all going through right now. And I'd be remiss if I didn't point that out. It's just been so wild. So if you're feeling that energy and you're feeling kind of just overwhelmed, just take a step back and laugh at it at this point. It's all you can do. Personally, the financial stuff has been wild for me. Up 100K, down 100K, up 100K, down 100K. And just like wild swings. And it's just a reflection of just kind of the energy in general. I gotta say, like you're saying, you've been happy too. I've also been incredibly happy. Like it is not, there are down days, of course, but overall, like I've been really, really good. But the energy is just absolutely batshit. And the despair comes in just because I think it's like a way we process some of this stuff. There's just collectively, like I said, there's just something afoot. And I think we're all trying to get our bearings on what that is. I don't have a clear sense. I will say, as silly as this sounds, like spirit guides are definitely trying to communicate things to us right now. So if you have any semblance of awareness for who or what or how your spirit guides communicate to you, pay attention. Their solar flares are off the charts. I didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense. It's just like I don't ever actually remember a period in life where it was this nuts. And that's really saying something because I've had some wild rides and times. But it's just one of those things. Like we go through these, we experience them, enjoy it as best as possible. I mean, there is the downtime, there is the relaxing that comes, and I love that. My vacation was that in a lot of ways, but I think we're really being asked to process a lot of, when I say past life stuff, I don't necessarily mean like you were a Tibetan monk, hundreds of years ago. What I mean is like, you process things cyclically, not only in this life that you incarnate into, and have experienced, but just there's a lot of collective karma, which is just energy, right? It's just, you could call it debt, you could call it just energy that needs to be worked through. And wild is really fun, Grimm's Express. Like, it is really fun. It's not a bad thing. I think when it becomes uncomfortable and suffering laden is when we resist it, when we push back against it, when we really try to like control it in a way that just isn't helpful. So one thing I noticed for myself, and I wonder if you have any of these catch-22 type of situations in your life, like money for me is a very revelatory energy. That's why I like crypto. It's why I like dealing with money. It really kind of exposes your core. Your relationship to money can tell you a lot about yourself. And one of the things I realized I'd been doing is like, okay, well, I'm going to make all this money so then I can do what I want, which is the ultimate trap. And then I realized, like, well, what do I want to do? Well, I want to have time and space for my family. I want to create things. I want to, do the podcast. I want to creatively express myself, make music. But I was like delaying that until I make money and making that kind of my priority and losing touch with the things that are actually important to me. So like it was a catch-22. you're going to make the money to do the things that you could do right now. That doesn't make any sense. And this goes for everyone. Whatever you think you need to achieve or be able, have the ability to achieve what it is that you really want to do, your true heart's desire, if you will, if we're going to put it like that, all silly like, that's just the game. It's a 3-card money. The card is not where you think it is, or the coin is not where you think it is. So it's like, you gotta know that letting go, surrendering, relaxing into situations they're not just platitudes. They're not just mystical, navel-gazing bullshit. It really is an active process that you want to learn how to cultivate that skill, because you're going to need to do it over and over and over again. Honestly, death, right? It would be the final mortal aspect of letting go. That's what death is. It's a letting go, not only of your physical body and your life, but the relationships, the energy, like all of these things that are weaved into the web of life. You gotta let those go to either move on or whatever, just be dirt in the ground. I don't believe that, but I mean, this is an active process of surrender that we have the opportunity to practice throughout our lives. And that's something that I think right now, that surrendering process is probably like the theme, right? If we look at the cards that came up, we'll start with the Page of Pentacles here, right? This is again like starting that path of abundance, really focusing in on what it is that we want to be doing in the material world, right? We have Pentacles, that's the earth element. So in the world, right, what it is, your path, like this is a good time to focus on learning the things you need to learn to really pursue that path with joy, with equanimity, with passion, all of those things. And then we have the Hermit here reminding us that like this is solitude time as well. Take time for yourself. Move slowly as you pursue your goals, your dreams, your desires, whatever they are. Don't move quickly right now. You have a little lantern in front of you that only allows you to see a little bit in front of you. But being alone with your thoughts, with your mind, with your emotions, this is an incredibly beneficial time to really work on that. And then we have the check-in with the emotions cards, the card, the Knight of Cups. That's again taking that beat, letting your emotions bubble up and simmer before making major decisions, before crossing a spiritual or physical or material path. Really pausing and getting in tune with what it is you want to be in tune with. And don't forget, like, that's your choice always. It can sometimes feel like we're being pulled in so many different directions that the choice aspect is lost or not factoring in. It's not true. You always have that ability to home in on what it is you desire. Desire also, it's been popping up. I don't know on which spiritual channels I've been tuning into, but it really gets just such a shitty rap. Like, and I get it. Attachment, right? Buddhism, non-attachment, cultivate that. And there's a logic behind that, right? If you're not attached to things, they can't weigh you down. They can't interfere with the process of what it is you want to be doing. However, those desires give you some insight into what it is you want to be doing. That's why we honor them and we respect them and we love them. We don't push them away as some, distorted aspect of being that's making us cling to some shit that's really not important. Sure, what is important, right? I mean, it's easy to say, well, material things are not important, they'll vanish. You can't take anything with you. It's true, but like, do you live in the material world? Do you live in the world where things may actually bring you some pleasure and happiness? Even if it's fleeting, who gives a fuck? What isn't fleeting? But really, again, being able to cultivate that sense of surrender, letting go, laughing at how fucking ridiculous everything is right now. There is not a thing that isn't ridiculous right now. Crypto is the apex of the ridiculousness, what's been going on with the meme coins. But again, a reflection of this frenetic energy that is just dominating almost every area of life. I say this from a personal standpoint, but I also know in speaking with others and just witnessing what's going on with other people, this is the vibe right now. There's very little solid ground to hang on to right now. And embracing that as kind of a philosophy that, yeah, you're falling through the air. That's the bad news. The good news is, the bad news is you don't have a parachute. Parachute. You're free falling. You're like Link in the new Zelda, which is amazing. Falling through the fucking sky. The good news is there's no ground. You're never going to smash into the ground. We thank the wise Chogyam Trungpa for that quote. Tibetan contemporary Buddhist master. And that's true. So as we continue our free fall through eternity and time and space, you got some time as you're falling. What is it here that you're really trying to do? What would you like to do that you're not doing? What are the things you're not doing because you're afraid of them? Right? This is the time to focus on that. Like, truly. And I say this not only as a reminder, but as like an affirmation for everyone to really put this at the forefront of your minds. Let it sink into your subconscious, of course, but really like let it percolate. What is it? What do you want to do? There's probably many things, but what is that thing? You know what I'm talking about? What is that thing? And you may not know. And I want to be clear, it's okay to not know. There's nothing wrong with not knowing. Now, do you want to figure it out? Yeah, fuck yeah, you do, of course. Don't be a dingus. But it's okay to live in the space of not knowing. That's a really powerful space sometimes. It's also a very loose state of mind, a flexible state of mind that is essential. Beginner's mind, child's mind, whatever you want to call it. The trick, right, is to fix your destination in some sense of the word, but to loosely and lightly approach that destination, not make it this crazy itinerary journey of fucking shit. I mean, listen, if that's your bag, if that's what you're into, by all means. I'm not here to tell people how to live their lives. God, I'll let you know when I got mine fucking totally the way I want it. But that's the beauty too, right? Like, you ever notice, like, you really wanted something, you get the thing, and then, well, lo and behold, there's something else that you want. That's the game. If that's painful for you, if that creates suffering, I have bad news. That don't end. Yeah, you could play the spiritual master enlightenment game. You're gonna fucking go off into a cave there, meditate your way into cosmic bliss. Good luck. I wish you good luck and the best of outcomes. You're probably not going to do that, because the truth is, the people I speak to, myself, we're in the fucking world. We call it the world of the householder, right? Whether you have a house or not, whether you have a family or not, that is what we are doing. Chances are you were born in a country where you have internet access. Oh, hey, Zelda. All we're listening to is Zelda music. By the by. It's just the vibe. I'm telling you, this new Zelda is like, it's too good. It's too good. It's too good. And when I say it's too good, I mean it's too good. It's like painful how good it is. You know, tis which is tis. Don't know what to tell ya. But yeah, I get, like, I really do want to remind you that if you're feeling the craziness of the energy, just take a step back and laugh at that shit. I've been oscillating damn near any given day the past couple of weeks, between utter despair, hopelessness. I don't live in that space for very long, and then just literally laughing at how ridiculous shit is. How fucking silly, goofy, wonky. That's like good. It's good when like people don't like that because it doesn't allow us to have like that narrative of that, oh, well, this is the way things work. It's a logical process, and this is why things happen, and this is why you can't do that anymore. Or you want to call it fake news or the distortion of reality or facts or the post-truth era, whatever. It's a blessing because that's a more accurate reflection and description of what life is. Whatever we call life, that's closer to what it is than these narratives of this is the way things work because that's, you know, why the systems are set up that way to facilitate them. People look at economic systems collapsing or straining or buckling, whatever you want to say, and that can be a very scary thought. You look at the thing I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, the AI, right? Existential threats from AI. Ooh, how scary, how terrifying. You gonna live your life in fear of that? No. It's just like these are things to propel us towards, like, what would you do if you knew you only had a year to live? You don't. You have more. Don't worry. But let's say you did. Try to put yourself in that mindset without going to a place where you really believe you only have a year to live. What are the things you'd be doing? What are the things you'd be pursuing? What type of relationships would you be trying to cultivate? What dreams have you put off because there's time later to do those? Right? I know this shit is so like platitudes and hokey and new age mysticism bullshit, but it's not. Like, this is the time for I don't talk about this all the time. I don't say these things all the time. I say them now because we are entering and are in the middle of such a transitionary period in the collective, in our own lives, that to miss this opportunity, to pretend that everything is the same, to pretend that, I mean, it's impossible, right? But to pretend the status quo will continue forever. It's just you're deluding yourself at the end of the day. And play whatever game you need to play to move through that gracefully, right? If that's pure non-attachment, if it's eschewing the ways of the world and all that comes with it so you can focus just on your spiritual light body and take in energy by putting your ass at the sun. We know about that, right? The anal, you put your ass in the sun, you get energy that way. What? Cool. But if you like participating in culture, if you like participating in life, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't get caught up. Don't get so caught up that you lose sight of your immediate reality and your relationships. So preachy today, Noah. Jesus fucking Christ. But you know what I'm saying. Like, just chill, relax, smoke some weed if you can. Do the things you need to do to get yourself in the headspace that allow you to see the hilarity amidst the chaos, right? That's what the game is. And things will continue to get more chaotic, right? I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in like the impending tower is collapsing if we're looking at tarot. But chaos, if we could make a leveraged bet on whether chaos would go up. Can you tell that I've been leverage trading on MEXC? Yeah. I would take that bet pretty confidently. I'd slam the fucking leverage to 200x and say, yeah, more chaos. It's going up. Chaos, though, is such opportunity. It's such a defragmentization of reality that amidst those gaps, those kind of in-between spaces, that's where the magic is, if I can say that, right? That's where the opportunity is. That's where the letting go of old versions of self exists. Those things. So we're grateful for the chaos. We like order too. I mean, who doesn't like order? If you went to a restaurant and ordered something to eat and they just brought you a completely different thing, that would suck. unless that thing was good, and then you'd be like, oh wow. But for the most part, like, order is good too. We don't shit on order. That balance, that equanimity is incredibly important. On the flip side of that is sometimes balance is not what's happening. Sometimes that's even not what's called for. You should try to develop a way to stay in touch with like the deepest aspects of your being so you can navigate that, again, gracefully. That's what we're trying to. You're going to navigate it no matter what. Can I make that clear? Like, you're doing it. My favorite question is, how do I manifest? You're doing it. You mean, how do you manifest things that you want that maybe aren't happening right now? Sure. But you're always doing it. Your imagination is always running, even when you're sleeping. Are you familiar with dreams? It's always running. So take the reins, jump on your fucking horse, set your destination, tell Epona where to go. Again, there's just going to be Zelda references forever. Like, at least for the next month while I plow through Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm a completionist. I will get every goddamn Korok seed that's out there. By the way, I'll be streaming. I'm getting the cables and adapters to be able to stream from my Switch, which is a slightly more complicated process than from, say, the PS5. I want to have it all set up with like the mic and stuff, just because it's fun. Like, I'd like to be able to share that experience. I have a good time. You don't have to watch. I'm not forcing you to do anything, but I am going to stream Tears of the Kingdom just because that's what I'm going to be doing. So I might as well put it on the fucking internet. I don't know. I'm having a good time. Like I said, you know, yeah. And as Grimm's Empress pointed out, like, you know, it's, I've been pretty happy too. I would say the highs are as high as they've been, especially in the realm of family. Listen, don't forget to check your chart. Also, not a big announcement, but an announcement. My sister kind of validated this one for me too. I think I'm moving to sidereal. Vedic astrology. It's making a fuckload of sense right now to me. I love tropical. It's what I've predominantly used to look at the charts and analyze the charts. But sidereal is speaking to me big time. So I look forward to delving into that. Actually, that reminds me. Yeah, I got to get her on. My friend who is really turning into quite the adept in the realm of Vedic astrology. There's just something, it's tugging. 3-4 years ago, normal quote unquote tropical astrology really like captured my attention. Right before that happened, I was like, kind of moving around it, playing around a little bit. That's what Vedic astrology is doing right now. Like, clear, loud message, receive spirit guides. Again, to go to the spirit guides, you should be able to have some sense of when that line of communication is clear. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can actively use the imaginal techniques to get in touch with spirit guides. But, you know, your spirit guides are a reflection of you. I don't want to make them seem like they're completely separate beings at their core. They're not, but everything is one at the end of the day. So we know that is just like an axiom that's true. But, you know, you do have energetic beings and helpers, just as there are people in this world that we interact with and are real. Even if it is just kind of a psychic projection of whatever we're doing here, your spirit guides and beings are real as well. So, I don't know, explore that. Things are loose right now. Things are open. Streams of energy are wide open. The portals are fucking, the Stargate portals, like those things are on all over the place. And beings and energies are just flowing through them. If you can imagine that or feel that or picture that, that's the best metaphor I could give. You know, Stargate, when the fucking thing opens up and you walk through and you go to a different planet, that's in universe, galaxy, whatever it is, that's what's happening right now. And I'm not going to lie, it can be uncomfortable. It's like a diamond under pressure type vibe. You will be squashed down until you go, you know what? Whew, I relent. I'm a diamond. I'm not a piece of coal. I relent. I give up. All right. I'm awesome. I get it. That's kind of the vibe. Try to feel your way into that. All right, I'm fucking amazing. I get it. That. You know what I mean? Not like, I'm fucking awesome. I'm the best. Nope. It's like acceptance that you're awesome. Do you understand? Like the acceptance aspect of that? That's imagination. That's manifestation. Right? The acceptance. Just like the certain fact that it is so. I am that I am, right? It is. It also reminds me of Popeye. It's like an ancient Vedic kind of, spiritual thing. And it's like, I say Popeye, I am's what I am's. But it really is like just knowing, right? Knowing something. Not trying to convince yourself of something. Not trying to trick yourself into believing something. Not fighting against beliefs that don't line up with what your desires are. Not that. It's just like a plain acceptance. Like tomorrow is Sunday, right? You accept that as a fact that is true. Therefore, it is Sunday. You could say, well, whether I believe that or not, it would still be Sunday. Okay, what the fuck is Sunday anyway? Someone want to tell me? Yeah, exactly. What are any of these things? Break it down. What is it? What's time? What's any of this shit, really? Constructs that we use to help navigate the material aspect of the world. That's what they are. And they're useful, and we appreciate them, and we love them. We just don't want to get so caught up in that stuff that we lose sight of the transcendent aspects of being alive. Because for me, that's what's fun. That's what's interesting. That's what's entertaining. It's enriching, right? Is that word? Enriching? I don't know. But that's like, I don't know, that's what I like in life. Some people may just like a routine process over and over again, repetitive, and that brings them epic bliss and euphoria and joy. Amazing. Truthfully. Amazing. I look at sometimes, my a soon-to-be 2-year-old, he loves trains. He fucking loves trains. And, you look at it and you're just like, damn, that level of joy from the same fucking train. I live by a train station too, so there's an Amtrak comes by, and he just goes ape shit. There are things in your life that also make you go ape shit, right? How good, by the way, are these lo-fi Zelda remixes? Especially if you're like a fan of the original music. So well done. I think it's Game Chops. So goddamn good. It's just really amazing. But yeah, try to find the shit that makes you go ape shit, right? And it should be fun. To go back to a little bit about the crypto stuff, I realized in the middle of last week, and this directly affects how much money I have and how much money I'm making, how much money I'm losing, it was not fun. I was jumping in and out of coins, making money sometimes, losing money. It just wasn't fun. And I realized I was trading my mental health for money, or the prospect of money, not even money at times. Dumb move. Don't ever do that. First of all, you won't win. It's the worst kind of vibrational frequency to go into investing or making or manifesting. It's just not good. It's like being on full tilt. You don't win. You lose. So just pull back a little bit when you notice that's going on. But the easy antidote to that is just like, what's your barometer? For me, it's fun for the most part. If something is, it doesn't mean you, like, listen, I've been having to do a lot of shit this week that wouldn't necessarily categorize as fun. But when you kind of surrender into the situation, there are hidden beauties all around things that you probably don't like doing. And they just like perma exist there for you to kind of access and appreciate. Just, that's all we're doing here, trying to have a little bit of fun. Right? I mean, there's obviously much more complex and deep and cosmic aspects. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's fun for me, but like, fun. You feel me? But like, do you feel me? Fun. Good. Fun. Good. We like the fun. We like the fun. What is this? This is wild. This is not lo-fi. Do a little Lost Woods. But I don't know. What's been going on with you guys? We'll pull some cards here and see what's going on. Anyone have any crazy fucking shit happen to them the past 2 weeks? Just me. I doubt it. All right, let's pull some cards. So we got here, like I said, Page of Pentacles, Hermit, Knight of Cups. Let's see what we got, huh? Oh boy. Our fucking friend, 10 of fucking penties. That's recognition of something that's been staring you in the face. We like that. Oh, yes. And then, of course, well, we pulled these kind of backward. We'll just say we're starting here with the 10 of Pentacles. Again, this is legacy stuff. Legacy energy, building, not just like a dynasty, but like you're looking back at your life, like what did you build? What did you accomplish? And feeling in tune with that. And it's okay if you don't feel in tune with that right now, especially if you experience any type of loss or setbacks or failures, so to speak. It can really put you into that mindset. Now, coming up right after that, we have the Four of Cups. This is just like, hey man, there's been something staring you in the face. Really, it's right next to your fucking head, but you're just not looking at it because you're looking at these things in front of you. Right off to the side is exactly what you've been looking for. And when we find it reversed, it's almost like a willingness to pursue that. A willingness to look at that thing that we haven't been looking at that may make our life much more ease, peace, joy, calm, confidence, right? And then we get, of course, our Seven of Cups, right? So this is choice. A lot of people are afraid of this card because there's so many different outcomes, so many possible paths. Some are filled with demons and treachery and dragons and oh boy, oh my God. But it's not really like that. It should be looked at like, wow, look at how many different paths and options I have to reach where I'd like to go. So just keep in mind that like these are choices that we get to make. Try not to feel overwhelmed by the choices. But, you know, I get it if you do, especially when there's things just going nuts. Grimm's Empress rather. What's Animal Sanctuary? What you talking about? I like that. It's an interesting kind of 3-card energy. We'll go the right way this time. Fairness related to material things. Making sure we're feeding our emotions as well as our intellect. Ah, yes, our untenable choice. 2 of Cups, right? Can we get a little closer? I don't want to like lose the frame. There's a crazy glare, right? Hold on, let me see if I can turn that off. I guess it's just from the monitor. That's clearly not better. Yeah, I think it's just from the monitor behind me. My jig. I still gotta get my computer fixed. I should probably do that. There's some fucking metaphor there for me. The visual aspect of my screen has been off and broken for a while. Where's the connection there? Also, I like to look at things in life kind of in that synchronistic way. When something breaks for you or something's not working, like what is the aspect of it that's not working? Visually, or you're not seeing something in front of you? Is your vision somewhat off, both physically, but not necessarily physically, but like internally, spiritually? What are you missing? Right? Animal Sanctuary, go for that shit. I mean, you know, envision the dream, envision how you would feel doing it. Also recognizing that running something like an animal sanctuary, while incredibly noble and probably amazing and fulfilling, probably isn't easy. It's probably, there's a lot of stress and trauma even related to that. Not personally necessarily, but you know, be aware of all of those things that encompass that, and then you will realize it, and you'll be like, you know what, that shit is for me. I can truly believe. And then you go back to the acceptance thing. Accept it is true. That's what's being asked of you. That's what you're asking yourself constantly. Accept that these things are true. Don't force yourself to believe. Don't trick yourself. Don't cajole yourself. Don't berate yourself. Just accept that they are true, which can be incredibly difficult when things are not going the way you imagine them to be or would like them to be. Judgment, our good friend Gabriel. My second son's name is Gabriel, the angel of mercy. Showing people that, right, this is surrender at its core. Surrender to the higher power, to your higher self. Naked too, right? Nothing to hide. No shame either. We're not shameful that there's vulnerability and nothing to hide. Just fully allowing yourself to be taken down to the core elements of your being and who you are, and being okay with like divine guidance, right? Again, do not make a God, do not make a divine presence external to yourself. I will say that every time I mention anything related to the divine or God. It is you, and always you. Do not forget that. Please. The trickiest trick we can play on ourselves is believing there's some external or outside force that's pulling the strings of our lives. Nope. Wrong. You fail the test if you believe that, as Neville Goddard would say. You fail that test. And don't fail the test. It's a relatively, I wouldn't say it's easy to kind of constantly remember that and act from that space, but you should be able to remind yourself of that routinely. Now, trust me, that'll help as much as anything. As much as anything in life. You know? Thanks for the follow, by the way. Chaos Orchestra, this is today, and SLP CLL. Chaos Orchestra, I love that name. And this is chaos. I mean, we're in the fucking nitty gritty bobitty of this shit. But I don't know, I like chaos. I wouldn't say I want to live in that space constantly, but you know, like I said, opportunity there. Your relationship to chaos will really reveal a lot about how your life feels and is going. Don't buck against that bull, you know? 10 of Cups. Oh, we'll put this here. All right, 10 of Cups, right? Harmony, House on the Hill. Again, not necessarily feeling that that's here right now. That's okay. And when I say not feeling, it just means actively in your life, right? We heard this one. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but we done heard it. What else we got? What's a good one? Song of Storms is dope. I actually really like this one so much. I know we heard it before. And then we'll just let Shuffle take over. It just means it might not feel present. We may not see this right now. It doesn't mean it's not there. Right? It doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that it's never coming. It doesn't mean that it's not literally right there in your face. So just don't don't give up on that. It's okay if it's, listen, you wouldn't know when it was there if you didn't know when it wasn't there. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because it's true. Some other reversal meanings though, like if we're looking at that, you know, you're looking for that harmony. You're looking for that connection in relationships. You know, you really like you're seeking that. Now, part of the problem with seeking is it implies that it's not already there. And that's a clue in terms of how to kind of reframe that in your life. I'm going to hide that door right there. Perfect. So just remember that like seeking is good. It gives us a navigational sense, a compass of where to be. But it can also kind of make things difficult for us because it's not there. And then, right, there could be some disconnection going on. And if you haven't felt a little bit disconnected recently, I don't know what to tell you. We're floating off. We're basically all in like K-holes at this point. Just like straight up dissociation. There we go. King of Pentacles. Always there to save us recently. Right? Comfort, joy, ease. Really also appreciating the material aspects of the world and what it has to offer. A big time Taurus energy, right? We like that. Wealth, leadership, discipline, abundance. Those are the words that come to mind when we look at the King of Pentacles. And right, like there's a lot of growth and energy and progress, right? We accept that. We like that. That's kind of like our antidote to the Ten of Pentacles. And she's been coming up a ton too, the Queen of Swords. Wise decisions that are made with clarity and swiftly. Again, don't cut yourself off from your emotions when making those decisions. That's what I would say. Which is the downside or shadow side of the Queen of Swords, right? It's, we don't want to cut ourselves off from our emotions. Really, really accurate, I gotta say. Oh, you're gonna start ketamine treatment. Good for you. I did my own ketamine treatment a couple years ago while I was going through a separation and subsequent divorce. I found it to be incredibly helpful. Incredibly helpful. Ketamine therapy is obviously a little bit different. They're going to give you higher doses in a clinical setting, and maybe they're just giving you like things outpatient. That'd be cool too. I didn't ever want to do ketamine therapy per se, just because I like to explore things in my own way, and I also feel like at least if it's in a clinical setting, that would totally fuck with my vibe. Just if you've done ketamine, you kind of like, you know, it's a wild fucking thing. Not a lot of other drugs out there like it. Incredibly loosening. You will disassociate from your life, from you. And where you go is anybody's guess. But I loved it. I mean, I think it gave you some really good perspective on life. That's cool. You're doing it at home. Like, is someone coming to your house, or did they just like give you like pills or nasal spray or lollipops or whatever? Like, is it a session, like a therapy session, or is it like self-dosage? I know people who do both. It's cool that it's a thing now too, by the way. Like, that's really awesome. It's a very, you know, I'm very reticent to say that like there are wonder drugs. Like, I don't think mushrooms are a cure-all. I don't even think weed is a cure-all. Obviously, for some people, it's not helpful. Same thing with ketamine. I don't think any of these things by in and of themselves, you know, are like the cure, but they can really be helpful. Ketamine in particular, for sure. Have to have a person there, but it is online therapy. That's cool. Yeah, they probably don't want you to freak out. Is it intravenous? I'm sorry for all the questions. I'm just genuinely interested in how this stuff is done nowadays. I know it's pretty much right. It's like everywhere, especially in big cities. But yeah, is it intravenous? That would fuck my shit up. I don't like needles at all. Like, I couldn't. I mean, it's just like even in my, you know, just the ones they stick in the IV in your like hand. No way. It's too much for me. But yeah. No, sublingual pill, dissolving pill. Cool. Do you know the dosage? Like, roughly? I'm sorry, I'm adding some 20 fucking questions here, I know. But this is really cool. Sublingual's amazing. I'm sure they figured out that people don't want fucking needles jammed into their freaking arm when they're going into a K-hole. It's like, talk about set and setting. This is very cool, though. I'm really interested to hear what your experiences are after this. What's LMA? Oh, yeah. $250 milligrams. Cool. Not really sure what that equates to. I guess, right? I mean, no one would do a gram of ketamine. I mean, I snorted it, so I don't know what the equivalent is with the sublingual dissolving pill, but I bet you get out there, probably go into a K-hole. Don't fight it is all I can say. Enjoy it. Be in awe of kind of what transpires. 2 pills. Okay, gotcha. Dope. Yeah, I think, wow, 500 milligrams total. Yeah, you gonna be out there in space. I think it's great. Can I be honest? I haven't done it in so long. I'm kind of scared of it at this point. Again, I used to do it so casually, but yeah, you'll see what I mean. Like if you do it and then you stop, it's like such a foreign experience. It takes you out of your mind. And just for me, it's been so long, you know, kids and all of this. I mean, I had kids before, but like, I don't know. I'll probably do it again soon. Maybe I'll join you in the coming weeks. You can let me know what times you're doing it, and we'll meet in the astral plane. Cool. Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't done it in 3 years, but 17, yeah, things change, yeah? I don't know how old you are now, but I can imagine you're not 17 anymore. And that's a long enough period of time that, you know, you're probably like, well... But yeah, it's like a little scary to think about going out of your mind. 27. Cool. Yeah, it's 10 years. I'm really interested to hear what happened. It's going to be interesting. Oh, you're 37. Cool. I'm about to be 40 in July. It's wild to me. But yeah, I really am a fan of ketamine. Should put my money where my mouth is and do some time and place, though. I mean, I think for me, one of the reasons I haven't really been able to, you got to set some time apart. Even if it's just like a few hours, like you cannot be taking care of kids. You cannot have responsibilities like imminently, like when you're doing it. Afterwards, sure, it wears off. You're totally fine. But yeah, I mean, you gotta have some time to do it. I couldn't be like active dad on duty fucking doing rails of K. But you pick a good weekend night. You pick a night where you had a babysitter and you don't have shit to do tomorrow and it's an easy day. For sure. I could see myself doing it. We did these poker nights a couple years ago. If you really want to have some fun, get some great friends together who play poker. And do a bunch of ketamine and nitrous and see how those games go. It's called just try to remember what you have and how cards work. It's just the war of attrition usually. It was often me and one of our friends. We just usually would make it. We did tournament style and like, you know, it's just who has the endurance to keep going and play in the cosmic realms. But it's also really fun stuff happening, like where you're sure you have this hand and it's a winning hand, or you're gonna get this card and then that card shows up. That type of stuff, kind of like loosening your mind enough so all of like the magical things happen. For poker, it's particularly interesting, I would say. But yeah, I mean, ketamine, it's good times. Anyway, I don't necessarily know that I necessarily recommend everyone do ketamine in this time and space, but it would be a way of kind of getting outside of yourself, which I think is just like, again, you know, you gotta try to let go right now. That's all I can say. Fears, even desires, especially if they're not serving you. Just, you know, be able to let things go. Also, surprisingly, when you let things go, you know, they tend to happen. It's the weirdest thing. I don't care about this shit anymore. It's not important. Oh, there you go. You got it. So if you can play around with your subconscious like that in a nice and friendly way, you can do the good old reverse manifestation. It's when you really don't want something to happen. What happens? It's my leg. Unfortunately, these cards have the writings on the bottom, so we can't see, so I'll just tell you what they are. Didn't think of that. Okay. First things first, we have Sacred Destruction. Talk about ketamine vibe. Talk about letting things go. Totally. Sacred fucking destruction. You dig? I think you dig. The Alchemist, being able to use the energies around you and synthesize something, anything. Good, bad, neutral, something. Synthesis, right? And then the Sovereign, and actually being in control of that process. Again, it goes back to that thing of choice. Some people say there's an illusion of choice. There is no real choice. We just think we're making decisions. This is an eternal debate I have with my wife. It's one of our better ones with no clear winner, of course. But I do believe that you can have, like, again, take those reins, set your destination, be somewhat, have some agency. That's a good word. Agency over what it is that you're doing. That should lead to some success, but just, you know, it does require to take those reins to really pull through for yourself and not forget. I guess we can just put them on top. This is Mouse Spirit. Tend to the small things. Tend to the small things. Don't let the minutia. Otter Spirit, you are never alone. I've also been feeling a big pull to socialize more. Wouldn't say it's a natural aspect of my being. I like hanging out. It's fun. Always have a good time, but I don't think it's a natural inclination of mine. I've been feeling that tug to kind of socialize more. Maybe it's just the weather turning. I don't think it is. I think it's just like a deeper kind of longer cyclical thing that I personally am going through. But if you do feel that call to socialize and you're not someone who does that or is maybe more introverted than extroverted, I say go for it, especially now. Really like connecting with other people is always, not always wise, but often wise, right? We'll say that. Cow Spirit, miracles are endless. I will take this opportunity now to point out, please keep your journals up, for fuck's sake, you slackers. Listen, my hit rate has dropped consistently for 3 months in a row. I think I missed 5 days last month. I think I'm already up to 2 in May. Just do it. Play around. Don't let it become a chore either. That's the trick. Don't let this shit become a chore. If it becomes a chore, you are fucked. Not permanently, not irrevocably, but you do not want this stuff to be a chore. This is something you're doing to kind of loosen and enhance your ability to create magic in the world. So why would you turn that into a chore? Oh, I gotta do this. Don't make it like exercise that you hate doing. Make it like something that you like doing. Maybe it's hard. Maybe it requires a little more effort than you're used to. But do not give it up. And to end, friends, we will pull a Nature's Whispers, our favorite toilet paper card. It's my preferred brand of toilet paper, Nature's Whispers. Adventure! Get out there. See the world, do things, have some fun, right? Who doesn't like a good adventure? If you're afraid of that, it makes you feel like, I don't know, definitely do it. If it's something you want to do, definitely do it, right? We like the adventure. We want that. It's good times. All right, guys. This has been a fun one. I maybe just might release this as an actual episode. We'll figure out what to do with the music. Sound good? I think it sounds good. All right. Have a good one. Bye, boy.